Well, after a long delay, the new season is finally here. We have to pay some money for Arlinda's contract re-signing to some Pacific Island, Northern Mariana, something to do with NOM. I don't know. But once we got those details sorted out, we're ready to start the new season. Let's get straight to it. Yes, hello there everybody, welcome back at long last to the channel for episode 83 of Andorra, the double challenge in which I take charge of the club FC Andorra and the country of Andorra and try to lead them both along the road to glory. Well, you join us at the start of a new season. It's the 2028-29 season, the one you've all been waiting for, and it's opening day of the season. We take on Getafe in our first match. And, well, before we get in that, of course, we've got to do the customary dive into the squad, the ins and outs of the transfer market. It's not been a particularly busy transfer window this time around. I mean, I was happy overall with the squad. I'm happy with the youngsters and how they're developing. So it was mainly about getting rid of some deadwood. Mohamed Kamara, sorry, that was you. He's off to Bordeaux for 1.4 million. Lots of players going out on loan. The main ones, Maiorino, this was a bit annoying. One I would have liked to have kept as a squad player, but apparently I've forgotten that I made a promise to him that I would loan him out, so off he goes to Granada, but we're getting a monthly fee for him. Maximovic, who was the scourge of Andorra in that qualifying match for the Euros against Serbia. All his goals for Serbia came against Andorra. He's out on loan once again at Vallecano, where he had a bloody good time last season. You can have a look at that. 2 seasons in a row, he was the top scorer in the Segunda Division. Now he stays with Vallecano, who've come up to the First Division, so we'll see how he gets on there. Chris Poole, another promising youngster who's out on loan at Legans this time, so a central defender, young Dutch player, spent last season out at Malaga. Another season in the Segunda Division beckons for him. Marco Carvalho went to Fiorentina. His contract's up at the end of the season. We'll probably let him go. We had a new right-back signed. Mohamed Idrissi immediately loaned him out back to Portugal. One for the future, of course. Then this is our only really major addition to the squad. We've signed this guy, Emmanuel Mba. We signed him from Athletic Bilbao. Excuse me, looks to be a very good option at centre-back. Young, only 22. Started out at Atletico Madrid, been at Bilbao for a long time. But 36 games in the league last season, so pretty regular player over the last couple of seasons actually for Bilbao. So he comes to us just to give us a bit more depth in the centre of defence. The only other player to come in was this guy, Miranda. Bit of a strange signing, this one. For some reason, he was available for a mere £20,000. He's got the potential to develop. 4-star potential. That is inside forward he can play as, so we'll see how it goes. But the main news as far as the squad goes comes in the contract negotiations. Now, if I bring up the wages, you see we're starting to pay out some big money to players now. Rigilson came in last season. He's on 51k. He hasn't started to earn that money yet, but we'll be looking for him to step up this season. Duarte, this was the big one to sign a new contract. I mean, only 22. He's one of the best midfielders in the league, starting to attract attention from some of the big boys, Real Madrid, PSG and so on. But we got him tied down to a 5-year contract, £38,000 a week. We also signed Cario to a new contract. He was very good. Could be challenging Arlinda for a first-team place this season. £32,500 a week. Moreira is not signing a new contract, though. I did try to negotiate with him. He turned us down. Arlindo is on £26,500 a week now. Seems to have dropped down in current ability. There's a little bit of a concern. One player we wanted to sign to a new contract, but who's playing a bit of hardball, is Maicon Silva. As you can see now, on a very tasty 3.5 stars current ability with the potential to get better. Only 3 years left on his deal, but his head's slowly being turned. Now, Brazilian teams are putting bids in for him. He's not interested in going back to Brazil, but I do worry that all it's going to take is not even one of the really big teams, maybe just one of those teams like if Atletico Madrid or Valencia came in, or if kind of any Premier League team came in, I'm pretty sure he'd be demanding his release as soon as that kind of bid came in. But yeah, the wages are creeping up, but we still do have players in the first team squad who are only on a couple of grand a week. But yeah, anytime we renegotiate contracts now, they're asking for a lot more. Pre-season, fairly straightforward. We started with a defeat at home to Porto. In a result that will no doubt please FM Llama. We stuck it to Aston Villa in a game as well. Then we had our own tournament, which we hold every year. We finished second. Valencia pipped us to the title, but we did manage to beat Inter Milan in that game, thanks to a brace from Axel Speranza. We had a draw with Lyon, and then a couple of easy games. Toulon, we travelled away to Toulon to beat them 6-0. With a Speranza hat-trick, and then one of those friendlies that they just said, do you want to come and play us? We said, why not? 5-0 against Baleares a week before the league campaign kicked off. Now you see with those fixtures, so we're here for the opening game against Getafe. We've got a pretty tough start to the season, because next week we travel to Sevilla, then we've got Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, either side of the international window. International window will be episode 84. Then after that Atletico Madrid game, we get our first game in the Euro Cup group stage. Of course, we don't know who we're playing yet. Those qualifying rounds are ongoing as we speak. But for now, let's get to it. Opening game of the season against Getafe. Oh, that's just reminded me, actually. We should just bring you up to date on facilities and things like that. The stadium was, is in the process of being expanded. So currently, the capacity is reduced by 1,500. There's work going on to add 3,500 seats. That's going to be completed by the time the international window's over. We've also got work taking place on the training facilities and the youth facilities. So we're looking to get all those facilities upgraded. But here we go with our lineup for the first match of the season. So Embark is going to partner Gomez in the centre of defence, making his debut. Hernandez comes in at left back. Engel Hernandez. The reason Moreira is on the bench is Moreira has been off at the Olympic Games with the Portugal under-23 team, so he's not really fully fit yet, but we'll give Hernandez a start. We've got Guedes, Reguilson, Speranza, Silva, Arlindo, all lining up for us, Jimenez and Jonathan as well. One name returning to the side after some time out on loan, Mayumba, who of course is one of our Andorran stars. The reason he's getting a game for the team is the fact that Mayorino went out on loan and we didn't really have... That's one thing with the rising wages in the squad now. I mean, we did get a much higher wage budget, but once, the contractual wage rises kicked in and things like that, we didn't actually have a lot of wage budget to play with when it came to the transfer market. So we thought Mayumba will do as a backup midfielder for now. And if you're wondering about Duarte himself, well, you may have noticed when we looked at the squad screen, he is suspended, suspension carrying over from last season. So both teams here lining up with a 4-2-3-1. I mean, Getafe are a team that we should be beating, but you never know. Opening day of the season can always throw up a bit of a nasty shot. So I'll tell the boys to get out there and impress me. Their reaction has not impressed me yet, but we'll add that we've got faith. Everyone's happy and or motivated. Let's get out there and get 3 points on the board to kick off this new season. Well, it's taken half an hour for us to get our first highlight. I was worried that all the hype for the first day of the season and it was going to be a first half of no highlights, but it comes out to Speranza skinning everybody down that left flank. Clever ball back to Mayumba. Mayumba just dilly-dallies on the ball. Tame shot that easily gets blocked, and now Getafe on the break. They've hit the post. Jimenez a bit slow with his reactions there. Still on holiday, it would seem, but we survive that scare. We stay at 0-0. And 0-0 is what carries us to half-time. We've been the better team as far as chances go. Getafe No shots on target, which always seems a bit strange when they've actually come so close to scoring, but they hit the woodwork. Right, I am far from pleased with what I just saw from this team. No one's playing particularly badly. Jonathan and Hernandez in those fullback positions, not having a great game. Guedes not having a great game, but we'll give them a chance. Get out there for that second half and see if you can turn this around. Take advantage of our superior attacking power. No, it's a Getafe set piece here, and they have scored. A soft goal to concede. It's Sissoko just coming up to get the header. It's all far too easy. Just the in-swinging free kick from deep. Not the start to the season we wanted. Oh, looks like there's a hint of offside. There was a player in an offside position, but of course he was not involved in the goal at all. So we've got a game to chase. Oh, here we go, corner. Speranza whips it in. Arlindo and Silva. Silva gets the equaliser. That goal, conceding that goal, woke us up. Maicon Silva straight back into it. Of course, the tail end of last season. Those heroics in the latter stages of the Europa League where, we couldn't quite make it to the final. We were without Silva and Speranza for those games, don't forget. So good to see them back in the team and back to goal-scoring ways. And now it's another highlight, a chance to go 2-1 up. It's Silva again. Mayumba, let's see if he can redeem himself from before. Oh, yes, he can. Of course, it was his tame waste of a shot that led to Getafe almost scoring in the first half. But he's bounced back here. Look at that. Acres of space. They just left him alone. He thought, I'm going to have a crack at that. Wow, 2-1 up. Homegrown talent. That's what we like to see. And the highlights are just keep on coming now. This is what we needed. I don't know. It's Mayumba. Mayumba getting dispossessed all too easily again. Come on, close him down. It's a save by Jimenez. Ooh, bit of miscommunication there, but eventually we get it clear thanks to Mba. Right, definitely substitution time. Guedes has had a shocker. I don't really have many great options to bring on for him. I suppose I'm bring on Sanhar, although he's more of an attacking midfielder. I will let him play the Mazzala role just to mix things up a bit. No other reason needed. I'm going to bring on Crush as well, just because I don't like the fact that both of my centre-backs are currently on yellows. We're going to take off Georgie Gomez. Georgie Gomez looks like he's still struggling to lose that trim down that waistline after his summer excesses. Into the final 5 minutes now as we look to secure that first win of the season. We're going to make a time-wasting substitution. Of course, we could bring on Cario, but I'm going to bring on Andre. And now there's a player who attracted a lot of interest over the summer. Got him to sign a new contract as well, though. Good one for the future is old Andre, the Frenchman. But it looks like Getafe are going to try and get back in it. Oh, I was worried Hernandez was going to give away a penalty there. But no, we've got the quick break. And it's Speranza skinning them down that flank once again into Reguilson. I told you he had to start earning his 51 grand. And, well, that's a goal at least, and it's one that secures the win in this game. So, he can enjoy his salary this week, buy himself a new car or a one-bedroom apartment, something like that, no doubt. But Reguilson, we're getting extra replays. Such a fine header it was that we've got to see that again and again. And again, Reguilson. Yes, we'll continue with our tactical changes. Thank you very much. It is a 3-1 victory for FC Andorra in our opening game of the season. So that is exactly the kind of start we were looking for. It did take going a goal down to jolt us into life, but I'm pleased with that start to the season, lads. Well done. That sets us up nicely for those games against Sevilla and Barcelona that we've got coming up. And how about that? Mayumba gets the Man of the Match award. Wow, a welcome back to the first team, son. Of course, we gave him a little bit of a run when we were back in the second division that season. But, superb play in that match. You've justified your inclusion in the team. Now, as I said, I'm going to play through these next matches. What I'm aiming for the next episode, we've got Nations League action with FC Andorra. We've been drawn in a group with Cyprus, Israel and Kosovo. Now, I don't know. Maybe. I think we can avoid relegation from that group. You look at the fact that we played Cyprus in a friendly back at the end of last season, and we won pretty easily. So we'll be looking forward to playing them again. If we can get off to a winning start there, who knows what could happen. But for now, we'll focus on one game at a time. That's going to be the next episode. And then, we'll try and get the episodes picking up again after our brief hiatus. And we'll come back for some Europa League action as well. So do make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed today's episode. Drop me a comment down below. I'm Dodgy Gamer. See you again soon.